Hello and welcome back to Substream News. I am Joseph, your presenter. As you can see, I'm on a beach holiday, but I'm still working because technology never sleeps and there's always great news to be reported. So thank you for tuning in. If you're not subscribed, make sure you are. And without further ado, let's get on with this week's videos. Well, my first story today is about tourism, but it's not about beach holidays. Actually, it's about nude holidays, which is a little bit strange. Unless you're a nudist, then it's completely normal. Well, this one is a big nude boat cruise, and it's called the Big Nude Boat. And it allows passengers to absolutely bear all, even at the buffet. So as you load in your plate, your bits are hanging out. Each to their own. Well, where's it setting sail from? Florida, and it's an 11-day adventure to the Caribbean. Ooh, and allegedly they're going to go to some pretty exclusive beaches where they're not going to upset any locals or impress any locals, who knows. But this is run by the Norwegian Pearl, and the company is called Bare Necessities Tour and Travel, so specifically for nudists. I think this is a great story, each to their own, and if they're happy and want to travel that way, why not? I've got a great quote here from the company. It says, "Two opportunities to enjoy a new slice of paradise, coupled with a beautiful selection of Eastern Caribbean island stops, will make this a can't-miss big nude boat experience." I won't be there. Will you? Let me know in the comments. Okay, our next story is about something that I might take for granted, and it's press freedom. While I'm not press, I am kind of media, and I'm an independent journalist. And because of that, I'm interested in press freedom. And this week, or last week, the 2024 Press Freedom Index was released, and it shows rankings of each country in the world for how free their press is. So start thinking now which countries you think are the most and least free. I'll give you a few relevant ones. Well, I'm in Thailand, and Thailand has climbed up, which is good, over the last year from 106th to 87th. That's a big jump. The UK, where I'm from, has climbed from 26th to 23rd. That's a good jump. The US, where most of our viewers are from, has fallen from 45th to 55th. So now, where are the freest presses in the world? Scandinavia. Norway, Denmark, Sweden take first, second and third place. So they are, very quite left-wing, liberal, free countries where you can do and be and say whatever you want. Who's at the other end of the scale then? The most repressive regimes in the world, of course, right? Makes sense. Where the people are least free, the press is least free. So I'm going to tell you the bottom five. You could probably guess it. It is Iran, North Korea, Afghanistan, Syria, and the absolute bottom, surprised me, was Eritrea. So why is Eritrea at the bottom? Well, in last place, it's the only African country with no privately owned media. Independent journalism is illegal. Freely reported news is outright banned. All media control is in the hands of the president. The government shut down all newspapers and media companies 23 years ago. It looks like I won't be going there to record our next news video. I'm sorry. Let's move on to our next story. Oh, I'm going to whip the hat off, but if you like the merch, let me know in the comments. It's getting a bit hot here. So my next story is about two things. Well, it's two stories really. It's two things that people genuinely quite like. It's fast food and beer. It's not our health videos as usual, but why are we talking about fast food and beer? Well, fast food prices have gone up. You may have noticed. It used to be a cheap and fast experience. You think, I'm on my way home, I could just jump into the fast food shop or fast food restaurant and get a quick bite to eat. But it's an expensive experience now. Why is that? Well, food costs have gone up, labour has gone up, supply chains are more expensive, inflation, currencies have less value. So all of those things make the fast food experience feel more expensive. And you would be right if you do feel like that, because the cost of fast food has and is outpacing the cost of groceries. So it's now becoming the faster or the cheaper, more affordable and efficient alternative to make food yourself. And surely it always has been, but we are kings of convenience, Homo sapiens, and fast food has proved vastly successful for decades. Could that be coming to an end? And beer. I like a beer. Who doesn't like a beer? Well, quite a lot of people actually, but who likes a warm beer? Not many people. Now, who likes an ice cold beer? A lot more people. Why is that? Chinese scientists actually have found out. It's to do with ethanol and the fact that ethanol changes taste in different temperatures. Well, I mean, that makes sense, right? So, in the study published in Matter on Wednesday, scientists from the Chinese Academy of Sciences explained that many things behave differently under different temperatures, alcohol being one. So, ethanol actually has a mixture of a sweet and bitter taste. But the warmer your beer, the less you can taste it. Now, the colder, you would then think, the colder the beer, the more you can taste it. Well, that's true to a certain point. There is an ideal window, and it's between 4 and 10 degrees Celsius or 40 and 50 degrees Fahrenheit. You go colder than that, the closer you get to freezing, below 4 degrees Celsius, you actually lose the taste. So if your beer is too cold, it doesn't have as much flavour. Did you know that? I found that very interesting, obviously. That's why I included it in this video that you're watching right now. And I've got another double story here, actually. It comes from the US, and it's all about self-checkouts. Do you like using self-checkouts? Because for me, it's agony. It's stressful. You've got to call the assistant anyway for half the items, it feels like. You also see people accidentally not scanning stuff, so there's a lot of theft, a lot of inefficiencies. I don't like the little robotic voice, and if there's a person around anyway, they might as well just work the tills. Well, society is realizing that self-checkouts are not that popular, not that efficient, and in the US, in California specifically, they are drawing up a bill to ban them. I hope that catches on. Well, ban them? Kind of. They're actually saying you can keep them. They're saying to the supermarket chains, you can keep your self-checkouts as long as there's one person with no other responsibilities to manage 2 self-checkouts. So rather than having one normal checkout, that one person can run 2 self-checkouts. Is that efficient? I don't think so, but I'm not a supermarket. Well, as I said, it's a double story, so there's always a flip side, and that is Walmart, the biggest retailer in the US and one of the biggest in the world, if not the biggest. They're going the other way. They are saying that self-checkouts are so loved that people will pay extra to use them. Now, I thought that's probably the most bizarre logic I've ever heard, but they've got a pretty interesting little scheme going on. So they're testing this in some stores in the US where when the shop's too busy and the queues are getting longer, then they're going to open self-checkouts only for Walmart Plus members who pay, how much was it? $98 a year. So if you pay for that to be a member of Walmart Plus, you can use the self-checkouts and other people can't. It's not actually a bad idea. In that case, it may be time-saving. And on a lighter note, you will know that means this is our final story. And it's a lighter note for you and I, but it was a very big, heavy, worrisome, troublesome note if your name is Barry Tangert. Barry received a tax bill for $34.6 billion. Oh, Barry, what a day. That is not what you want to open in the post, is it? Well, obviously, he knew there was a mistake. He actually said, "I knew it was an obvious blunder. I don't even make $100,000 a year, so there's no way I could owe anywhere near that." Tongue in cheek. I like it, Barry. It's good attitude, actually. Well, of course, it was a clerical error from the tax office, and Barry was let off the hook. But it got me thinking, $34.6 billion. How long would that take to pay back? Well, let's say you earned the US average salary, which is $63,795 a year, and you had to pay no taxes. And you put that entire salary towards paying your $34.6 billion tax bill. It would take you 542,362 years to pay back. That's a lot. Now, then I thought, what if I made $1 million a day tax-free? How long would it take? 95 years. That just puts into perspective how big that tax bill was. Well, good on Barry for not freaking out too much, because I would be. And that's all we have time for this week. I'm Joseph, your sweaty beachside presenter. And you know what? I'm going to go back to the beach. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.